Fancy lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast,
lad.
fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast,
lad.
gonna talk to my friends. Gonna share a
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Gonna have a laugh. That's what I
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Fancy
lad.
podcast. Fancy lad. Fancy lad
Fancy lad.
podcast. Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, yes, we are. Indubitably.
Indubitably means indeed for all you listeners out there who may not have a dictionary on hand.
Or if you don't have a resident word scientist readily available.
Mm-hmm. Or you just aren't one of those people that need to sound so magniloquent that you need to say the word indubitably.
Right. Well, you know, I got this calendar. And every day it gives me a new word.
Oh,
I wanted to try one.
word of the day calendar.
That's a good name for it. That's what they should call it.
Yeah.
This
That's
one's
what I was
called
thinking.
this one's called Dayword Date Planner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking it was kind of like Pee Wee Herman's word of the day, but I didn't see your chair like bursting out in laughter.
Oh, Cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I keep this guy quiet.
Mm.
He knows not to speak.
All right. Keeping him on a short leash, huh?
Well, I mean, you know, during the podcast.
Oh,
We don't need a talking chair on the podcast, you know?
that is true. That might be one too many voices.
Yeah. I mean, one day maybe we'll let him say something.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, honestly, I don't even think he has anything he wants to say.
I mean, he wants to say what it's like for you to be, you know, resting your rumpa-pum-pum,
Oh, my tuchus.
your tuchus,
Yeah.
upon his, I'm assuming what is maybe his nose area.
I think so, yeah. I feel his nose up there, actually.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, this is the life he chose.
Yeah. Well, no one chooses to be born into this world
Oh, no, but he was made into a chair.
from his own volition.
Yeah.
For all you listeners out there, volition means free will. I just used my word of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And no, yeah, Cherry's still not saying anything.
Yeah. Damn. We really used up those words of the day really quick.
I know.
We're only like 2 minutes in. We already blew through both of our words of the day.
Should we go to the next day of the calendar, or should we just not say any more words?
I mean, if we go to the next day of the calendar, then yeah, we'll have more words to say now, but then what are we going to do on that day? Say nothing?
Yeah, you're right. You can always, well,
It's tough. It's tricky.
maybe we can say the words backwards.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We'll try that.
And from there, just start inventing our own language, which is called backwards language.
I like where your head's at. And no one will be able to figure out what we're saying.
Dude, it'll be our own little way of communicating, and then we can do an entire episode like that.
Oh, yeah. Secret.
Exactly. Now that you mentioned secrets,
Mhm.
you know who I bet has a fucking shit ton of secrets?
I mean, I can think of a bunch of people who probably have a shit ton of secrets. But the one in particular that I'm thinking, I think we're on the same page here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not thinking Siebes, are you?
Oh, yeah. Sieben. Michael Sieben.
Michael Sieben, the Siebesman himself.
Yeah. Mr. Sevon.
Un, deux, trois. I don't know, after 3. So you think we should call Sieben?
We should call him because he's such a quiet and nice and polite man
Mhm.
that I know he's hiding something.
Dude, and maybe he has a few words for us, too. Because we're out of words for the day.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not a bad idea. Well, why don't we give a call to him then?
Yeah, why don't we call him right now?
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yankee Doodle came to town without his macaroni hat. All he wore was a crown. About 8 gold rings
wearing some Louis Vuitton, and I'm pretty sure he had clown shoes on. He was walking with a strut like I never seen, and he drinking from a can so crisp and clean. So we introduced ourselves just to see what was good. After all, he was new in our neighborhood. Well, my name's Crookle Sam, and I'm here to say that I make a mango kush in an American way. The natural mango flavors really make it the tops, not to mention all the Hugh melon hops. Mango American Kush from Clown Shoes Beer is conveniently available throughout the year. So what do you say, boys? Have a drink with me?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Yo, I'll take 3.
For more information on Clown Shoes Beer or where to purchase Clown Shoes Beer, visit www.clownshoesbeer.com.
Yeah.
Sieben?
Anything now?
Yes.
Okay. I
That's
don't know
great
what
to-
changed, but
That's great to hear. We've never had that technical difficulty before.
glad I could bring something new and unique to the podcast.
That's a first here on the podcast.
You know, we've been looking to mix it up, so thank you.
You're quite
But-
welcome.
Hey, welcome to the Fancy Lad Skateboard Podcast, #1 skateboard podcast in the world.
Number 1.
Where are you guys recording from there?
This is our Fancy Lad Podcast studio.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is the control room. We can't figure out how to set up the Zoom in the actual studio, which is much bigger, much
Okay,
nicer.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ceilings, much higher.
Looks great. Looks great.
Thank you.
But, you know, this is all okay for now. We're at an undisclosed location,
Mhm.
so people don't knock on our door while we're recording.
Can't have that.
It's not good for the podcast.
It makes me feel like I need a more interesting backdrop here.
Oh, no. Just the thousands of Patreon viewers are going to see you.
Okay. Let me grab my beverage real quick. I see you have a beverage there. Hold on one
It's-
sec.
It's true, but it's to just satisfy our sponsors. But I'll wait for you.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll just let everyone know about the Clown Shoes brand Josh the Guava King
Yummy.
limited release 2020
Oh, yeah.
double IPA with guava by Clown Shoes brand beer.
Very good. Delicious.
It's already after 5 out there in Boston?
Now, I was going to say, now I know it's not after 5 out here in Boston, but our sponsors demand no matter what time we record the podcast, we have to be drinking at least one double IPA.
Right.
Okay.
So, but this one, it's guava. It just, you can't even, it's just so good.
Guava just cuts right through. It's real nice.
Yeah. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know we're in the presence of skateboard royalty here.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. No, sorry. I thought that we
You
had, yeah.
I thought I saw someone behind you, but no.
I thought Todd Falcon was behind you, but it's just a different Texan.
Yeah, he's further up the road.
Yeah. So how's everything there in Austin? How's it compared to Boston?
I think it's hotter. More ditches.
Yeah.
No, more tacos probably.
And how do you feel that my favorite thing that you've ever done that I always mention every time I see you is the Internet Shack? How does that make you feel?
Great. It's one of my favorite things I've done too.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it
I'm
works
glad
out.
people look back on it favorably as I do.
And, I've been thinking about it a lot more ever since we built our trash ramp in our yard.
Uh-huh.
Because, you always have those drawn out pieces of wood, and you made that really nice mini ramp in it look like it's a bunch of different pieces of wood,
Uh-huh.
but it's actually a really nice ramp.
It was a good ramp, yeah.
See, ours is a really shitty ramp, which is actually a bunch of different pieces of wood that we got out of the trash.
I prefer that version.
Yeah. Well, you should come and skate it with the PVC pipe and everything.
Yeah, you might change your mind after that.
Yeah. Post-vaccine, I'll see you there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If maybe by then we'll bowl out the whole thing. We got one.
Right.
We got one corner. There's about four more. There's about four more to go.
Yeah.
It's probably easier to bend PVC coping than steel, right? It's got to be.
Actually, we used the
The frame of the trampoline.
exactly.
So you did
Yeah.
that decides what your radius is there.
Yeah. So if we continue bowling it out, it's going to be like
but we bowled it out to look like a bone, like a dog bone.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I noticed too. I was thinking about this because I happened to watch the first episode. You built the ramp on a graveyard, which could make some pro skaters quit Pal Peralta in the 80s.
Some?
Yeah, some. Now, we're not here to name names, all right? But maybe
some people never wanted to run through a graveyard, right?
Yeah, some people who have an initial that's further to the end of the alphabet. We're not here to name names. But who might pursue, I don't know, professional career in wrestling. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Mike V.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. Big fan. I've seen every one of his documentaries. Stand Strong, Drive, Sponsored, the On video about him. Everything. But it was just a funny connection I was making with your show there. But enough about Mike V. Okay, obviously you're not taking any bites on Mike V. Okay,
I'm a fan. We did I work with Paul Schmidt. This was a couple years ago, and we did a modern take on the barnyard shape. And we hit up Stacy Lowry knows Mike V. They're old teammates from the Powell days. But he hit up Mike to make sure he was cool with it, so we didn't want to step on Mike's toes. And he was cool with it. I thought that was awesome.
And that was for Roger?
I think it might have been a program board, so there was like 20 made probably.
I was going to say, out of the companies you've owned, which one was your favorite?
Scott, it's too many to even think about.
You got Bueno. You got Program. You got Roger.
For sure, Roger. For sure.
I know.
Hands down.
Yeah. The other ones seem like little blips in the Roger universe.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all Roger. It all comes back.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, in a world of skateboard graphics, yours are the few that make me tee-hee, make me chuckle.
What are some others?
Make me ha-ha.
A few hoo-hoos even.
Let me see. There's not really funny ones. I mean, yours are just some of the ones that I like in general. I mean, I just don't think many are very well graphically designed. Myself included. I'm not a graphic designer by trade. I started the company with no experience and have kind of been learning from there. And I think they've been getting okay. But like on your website, I noticed you labeled a bunch of your work as fine art, which is funny because I went to school for fine art.
Okay.
And I gotta say, what you're doing is it looks a lot more like Illustration Buster.
Okay, I'll take that.
No, that's
I went to school for fine art as well, but I do consider myself more of an illustrator.
Yeah, it's a joke I used to have with my illustrator friends and call it back in college.
Yeah,
because they always hated that there was that divide.
I don't mind. I mean, I feel like I kind of live in both worlds, but typically if I'm just making a painting for no reason other than to make a painting, I just consider that fine art. I don't have any art direction. I'm not trying to illustrate a concept necessarily.
Right.
But it all leans toward the illustrative realm, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm not trained as an illustrator. I'm trained as a fine artist, as are you, my fellow artist.
What college you go to?
University of Texas at Austin.
Nice. I went to the University of Massachusetts. That's funny.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
But
what
yeah,
did you study there? What was your primary areas of focus?
Drawing and painting.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a focus on portraiture and nude models.
Were you good?
Figure painting. Oh, I was the fucking best. Okay. But, I gave up on that for my dreams of pursuing a professional career in skateboarding. Now, you see, I run the company, but I also skate, film, edit, have parts in every one of the videos. Now, that's what I'm saying.
And on top of that, he's super modest.
Sure, you got to be.
Well, it takes time to film a part, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I know I've seen Secondhand Stoke. I did not see a Michael Sieben part in there.
There's a clip, I think. I could be wrong. I think there's a clip.
No, I think there was a clip. There's a clip. I mean, you sent me a friend clip once for FL3, I believe.
I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah. But you sent me a copy of Secondhand Stoke, and you said that it might even have a board with it because you were doing inserts in the boards, but it didn't.
Oh, just the video?
Yeah, just the video.
Oh.
Yeah. It would have been really... I never had gotten a free board. I never gotten a free board from anybody, so I was hoping. I was like, this is going to be first and only time I get a free board, like I'm sponsored.
Right.
Well, I didn't want that. I didn't want that to happen so soon, so early on in your life. I want you to have something to look forward to in your twilight years. So
so soon. I'm in my mid-30s.
You're just getting started.
Damn it.
I'm in my mid-40s. I feel like I'm just figuring it out. I'm just getting warmed up here.
But back to the Roger graphics. What I was going to say was, I was so embarrassed after seeing you at the Sodi party. And let me tell you the mix-up that happened. Because I was commenting to you on the Ghost with the Boner graphic. You know the one. You know it. You love it.
He loves it.
You love it. Great. Classic. Instant classic. And I said to you, I like the one that's your Ghost with 2 boners graphic.
Uh-huh.
And what happened was our friend Dave Corden, who filmed the PJ video, drew on our dry erase board Ghost with 2 boners. He edited it, added that flair himself. And that stayed on our dry board for months.
Okay.
So when I immediately thought of it, I thought of that image. And I thought, Ghost with 2 boners.
Well, I've made the same joke, so I thought you were referencing my joke.
Oh, maybe he was referencing your joke.
You might have. I mean, that's the logical progression of that graphic, right? Where do you go from there? What's more awesome than that?
Yeah.
2 boners.
2. Yeah.
How could you beat that? Well, I mean, I think of it.
It keeps
3.
going.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
There's
room.
There's room.
I can't think of anything after 3. Well, maybe 4.
Well, yeah, 4 actually might be better.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it could go on forever.
It literally could.
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I think I see a ghost floating like right above my bed, and I realize it's just my boner.
Mm-hmm.
But sheets, they look like ghosts.
These things happen. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you made me think about it, I can't think of any other funny graphics. Tom? By any other company? I mean, obviously, as far as Roger goes, Skate Switch for Jesus, all the weed-related ones, Mom's Bong and Cobra and Weed. Those are the first ones that come to mind.
Yeah, I
Those
can't
are
really
cool.
think of anything super funny. I think of plenty of good graphics.
See, that's the thing. It's like, you got the perfect amount of cleverness where it's not obnoxious and it actually makes you go, aha, that's kind of funny. Yeah.
I feel like I can't think of any specifically, but there's got to be some anti-hero graphics like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's dozens.
And I like the crooked graphics, but they're not funny
Yeah.
per se.
No, they're cool though.
They're
Yeah,
cool.
They are.
That's
cool.
what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you got sick, you got cool,
you got rad,
you got funny.
you got
This
generic.
is like a third-hand story, but Jeremy Fish told me that Todd Francis told him that there's 2 ways to make a good graphic, and it's to either make a kid feel tough or to make a kid laugh.
Hmm.
Those are the two formulas that always work. I don't think I've ever made a kid feel tough, but hopefully I made kids laugh.
That's more of a fucking awesome sort of route.
I mean, I would think, yeah, if I were a 20-year-old, that would make me feel pretty tough.
Yeah, same. I'll never know though.
Oh yeah.
But
I've never been tough, so I'm just purely speculating here.
yeah, I've vicariously been tough through Tom.
Right, because I'm tough.
Yeah, and when people, Like, Wrecking Ball tried to get in it with Tom at the Dime Glory Challenge.
Oh, man. Big mistake, Whack.
Big mistake. You should have seen him after fucking Tom got done with him.
Yeah, I felt bad, honestly, because he's so puny.
And he didn't post about it. He was like, too embarrassed. He felt this tall.
Yeah. Which is, for all you listeners out there, very short.
Very short. About an inch between my fingers. Maybe an inch and a half.
So the podcast will not, there's no video with the podcast, just audio?
Just audio for all of our normal listeners on Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. But
Apple.
for the paying Patreon viewers, they get to see every second of this, unedited. All the glory. This is, epic moment in history. It's as I see it.
Oh, yeah, they're getting their money's worth.
Listen, we're on the forefront of skateboarding podcasts.
Mhm.
Okay? So, pretty much I should be asking you, how does it feel to be on the podcast? And also, just you can mention something you love about me and Tom, and also maybe Fancy Lad related and the company.
Yeah,
just to celebrate.
I've never even heard a podcast, so this is all new for me. I had to look up what a podcast was before we hopped on the Zoom chat here.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure we're one of the first people to have a podcast, so that's probably why.
I would have heard of it if it was some big thing.
Right.
I thought it was just actually a, what do you call it? A sort of mold, like a cast mold of just your standard pea pods.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought it was for the longest time.
Right, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought it had something to do with the Tide Pods.
Smart.
See, that makes sense, too.
Not at all. Not at all.
And you just throw Tide Pods. Tide Pods that you throw out into the ocean as a sort of castaway.
So you had to clean up the ocean because of all the pollution.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea. They do use Dawn to clean little duckies, right?
Sure. Yeah.
That's perfect.
We should get started on that.
We
do that.
can
We'll
all
do
do
that
our part.
You know what? We'll start a GoFundMe. 1 million Tide Pods for the ocean.
People are going to love it.
Brought to you by Michael Sieben. We're going to write that in the GoFundMe.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we got to give you your props.
What was the follow-up? What do I like about you guys and Fancy Lad?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's the thing is I'm sure you have a million questions for us. We usually just get the guests on to ask us questions because we know that people are probably begging for – you're just itching for that,
What year are you no one ever asked me this. So I'm always curious. How many years have you been doing Fancy Lad at this point?
Since 2011.
I can't add. How many years?
9.
9, okay.
And fun fact about that, when we were starting, you're not going to believe this. We wrote down as an idea the Focus Here board. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
That's some parallel thought.
That's a good idea, right? That's a good graphic.
Yeah,
It is.
exactly.
Yeah, it is a good graphic.
You just gotta be the first one to make it. We can all have good ideas.
I know. You can write them down in a notebook if you want.
Has Fancy Lad been going on consistently that entire 9 years? Have you ever taken breaks or stepped back or started 3 other companies or?
It's been going on very consistently, but it's been a very slow burn. It's been like a slow cooker put on the very lowest setting possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get the most flavor, right?
Almost off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so low you don't even know if it's on or not.
Okay.
So, it's been the key to our success.
Well, 9 years might be just starting to simmer. Just starting.
You're right.
Things are bubbling up.
You're right. It is just starting to simmer, and I appreciate you for noticing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been in contact. I don't know if you know this for, years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did notice. I did.
And I appreciate that too.
So we're on about the same timeline there. I think
You probably started like a year before.
Yeah, I think it was like started working on stuff in 07, but I think the first boards were 08, but then we took a 2-year hiatus when I got haunted by puppets. So, it's about, we're about the same. Our babies are about the same age.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I noticed. Yeah, what I noticed about Fancy Lads, we started way too prematurely. You probably should have had a little more sort of, I don't know, thought or idea or even just portfolio of something or of a business plan or something, anything before you started a company. But no, we were just like, we'll just start it
with nothing.
You could wait forever if you're trying to wait for all those pieces to come together.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Gotta pull the trigger at some point. I mean, how many people do you know who talk about starting their band or starting their skateboard company or starting their clothing company or whatever their big thing is, and then
or starting their comedy career, Tom?
Hey, come on.
I'm just kidding. I was thinking of actually Goofy Greg, but then you were right next to me.
I mean, I think that main thing is just to jump in, see what happens, and it may totally turn into a fiery mess and not be worth doing. Got to try, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. But I mean, the fact that you work for Thrasher, see, that's like, you get to like brag about that. You get to be like, yeah, you know who pays my bills? You know who writes my check? Thrasher magazine. You might have heard of them.
And then you push them.
A
little shove,
Yeah.
Classic Thrasher shove.
And that's when you first start to feel tough, and then you get a little taste for blood, and you're like, oh,
I need more.
Who else wants some? You fucking punks at the skate park! Ah! And then you kind of go on a murderous rampage from there.
Yeah,
I'm the nice guy.
Yeah, no, I could tell.
It is that is crazy though, and I don't take that I don't take it lightly that I work for the magazine because I've been reading it since I was 12.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a subscription as a child, living in a shitty town in Texas, and that was that in videos. That was like the window to cool shit going on in the world that gave me hope that I wouldn't always be in a conservative little town where people did not value the same things I did.
Yeah.
It's awesome to be able to contribute to that magazine and know that there are 12-year-olds out there who probably live in shitty towns, and hopefully they're picking up the magazine. Although there's a lot more access to media these days, as we know, as this podcast.
Right.
Because
when I was growing up, Thrasher was in all the everywhere, like CVS, Star Market.
Yeah, you could get it anywhere.
Grocery stores. Yep.
Yeah, and that's where I went to the grocery store growing up, and while my mom was shopping, I would just go to the magazine section and just look at the Thrasher the whole time.
You could take it out at the library.
And then not pay for it and put it back, obviously. But but yeah. Damn it, I lost my train of thought because of that. You distracted me.
We're talking about Thrasher.
And that hardly ever happens. But oh yeah, that's what I was also gonna say. Yeah, that's why I usually whenever I see you, I ask, is Thrasher hiring? Do they need a videographer? And you say they're probably not hiring right now. Go fuck yourself. You're an idiot, and you should bow out of the skateboard industry gracefully.
The advice I always have is submit your fully fleshed out ideas, your pitches that you can tackle all by yourself. Because I mean, a lot of times we have people who have ideas with absolutely no idea of how to actually achieve the end goal. So it's like, what if, around the world trip, and you get Tony Hawk and band, whatever it is, but it's like, well, how are you going to do that? But if someone's like, hey, I wrote this article about a satanic cult that hides out in the ditch that we skate. Here's all the photos. Here's the article. Here's it. If it's like,
yeah,
hand over the thing. Like, what's the thing? What's your idea? How do you accomplish it? So
to the doers go the spoils. But I was thinking about that with Tony Hawk. I want to get in contact with him, so I thought of a really easy way to get in contact with him. Do you want to hear it?
I'm here. Yes.
You pay $200 to request a cameo video from him.
Mhm.
and you can ask him whatever you want in the limited amount of text that you can use.
Right.
And bing bang boom, he reads your question.
So you could probably save up a couple $1,000 and have a full podcast with Tony Hawk on here, right?
That's what I was thinking.
That's what we've been working on.
Yeah.
I'd
What do
take
you
a
think
couple-
all this Patreon money's been going towards?
Yeah, scratch the Tide Pod GoFundMe. This is the new GoFundMe, I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely a better idea. Who needs the ocean? Whatever.
Yeah. Once the Hawk man, well, we have this very loose connection to Hawk. He follows Matt Tomasello.
Yeah.
So that's a start. He knows who we are, and that's it.
I saw on Instagram, I saw a fingerboard video this morning where someone had made.
The Matt Manip with the spiral hinge in the middle. Yeah.
Is that a new thing? Has this been going on for a while? That was the first I'd seen of it. But
They have tagged, like, the person that did that obviously tagged Matt and Fancy Lad to be like, hey, check it out. I'm doing your manip with a fingerboard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he started doing that like a month ago.
the fingerboarder.
The fingerboarder.
Okay.
So it's fairly new, but I mean, they've been getting a lot of success from it. I think we're in the wrong business. I think we should have started a fingerboard company.
Yeah, seriously.
I've heard it's lucrative. You can easily make hundreds of dollars doing it.
Have you gone to a fingerboard, like any real fingerboard companies' websites and looked at the prices?
They're the same as skateboards.
It completes like $160.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, and you think about the cost of materials,
How much
how
is knuckle reconstructive surgery? What are the injuries like there?
That's a
Are guys
good
just
question.
blowing out their fingers left and right?
you should just ask Justin Eldridge. Because he popped his finger back in the video.
Right.
Oh,
right, right.
yes.
Yeah. All right, I'll get something more your speed. All right, Santa Cruz, Streets of Fire. What else we got? Blind Video Days.
Yes to both. Yeah.
Yes.
Were you growing up, were you more of a Gons or a Nodus kind of guy? I feel like that was a.
You know what?
picked
Nodus
him?
had already fallen off the radar when I
Oh,
started.
you're 35, right?
I'm getting to 35.
Just getting started here. Okay.
Yeah, but see, all I knew from Nodus was the Element World Tour at first, where Nodus has that very brief part, and that little girl goes, Nodus!
Yeah. It's not enough.
And then I saw the On video of Nodus, and where it basically shows his Streets of Fire part.
Right.
And then I was like, Nodus is great. But I'll always be a Gons guy, because Gons has just been so good that I don't even put him in my top 5. I put him above my top 5.
He's his own thing,
Exactly.
his own entity.
Exactly. And I've been thinking about stalking him in Peabody, Mass, where he sometimes lives.
Yeah, he'd
Is that-
probably enjoy that.
Do you think that's a good idea, or?
Probably not. I don't advocate stalking anybody, but
But
I-
as a
Yeah, he might take it the wrong way.
as a super fan,
sure.
yeah,
Maybe just a postcard, nice postcard.
yeah. I don't know his address, so it's just gonna kind of have to be milling about the area.
I'll just send it to every address in Peabody.
That's not a bad idea either.
I think it's like Santa Claus. I think if you just write Gons on it and put it in the mailbox, it'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true. They
Yeah.
have you can go on the news websites and they have the little Gons radar showing where he is in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he might not like it if you start stalking him, because I know Fisk sent Peter Hewitt his toenail clippings, and
That
I know
was-
that.
that was Julian Stranger.
Oh, it was Julian Stranger. That's right. That bummed him out.
Peter Hewitt would have been totally cool with it, I guarantee. He's a fan of the company, so that's why I think so. Little fun fact, I can list the fans of the company in the skateboard industry on one hand. So Peter Hewitt is
Mhm.
one of them.
Who else we got?
All right.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk, Ryan Townley, he's a fan. Tom Remillard, he's a fan.
Wes?
Wes Kramer, he's a fan.
It's a good. I mean, if you only got 5, that's a good list there.
Not a bad list.
It's not bad. Could be worse.
Yeah. So we'll probably turn all of them pro by the end of the year for the company, is what I'm guessing.
Do you think they'd like us to tell them about it beforehand, or do you think they'd prefer it as like a surprise? Like, oh, look, I have a pro board on a different company.
I think, just like that surprise check in the mail for their board royalties. That's
Mm-hmm.
what more could you ask for?
All
true.
$100, I know.
Yeah.
Holiday bonus. Yep.
Who's your top pro on Roger right now? Is it Shiloh Greathouse?
It's not Shiloh. We never asked him to ride for Roger. Like post Bueno. That's funny. I just thought about this the other day because I found a Shiloh graphic that said Roger on it, and I didn't know where it came from because I think it was a Bueno graphic, and then I just threw a Roger logo on there. But
Yeah.
when Bueno was actually working, when it was like a real brand, it was fully funded by Giant Distribution, and it was like a real,
Yeah.
not a real skateboard company, like a fully funded. There was money behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
And when that all went to hell, and then we started Roger, it was literally Stacy and I with like a credit card with a, I don't know, $1,000 limit, $1,500 limit. So it was, I think we talked about, we're like, that might be kind of, I don't know, not offensive, but we thought it might be a step down for Shiloh to go from having ridden for top tier companies to riding for Stacy and I with a credit card with $1,000 limit on it.
But now he's not in the skateboard industry at all. You could have hooked him in there a little longer.
We gave him a guest model, right? That's what you're talking about here.
I was talking about the Bueno, right?
Well, he had a Roger guest model. that
Oh,
was
okay.
based on his first Bueno board
I
deck.
see.
Yeah, I love Shiloh though. When we started Bueno, that was like the first name that got thrown out. I still have the email, like I printed it out, but Stacy sent me an email and all it said was, "What do you think of Shiloh Greathouse?" And I was a huge fan from the World days, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Yeah, what do you want to ride for us?" That's a hard yes, but didn't know if he'd give a shit, but
Right.
he was into it, and I think he looks back on that time favorably. I know he does. He still puts Roger stickers on his board currently, just as a little
Nice.
nod. But yeah, Shiloh's awesome. Big forever.
I mean, I wish every pro would just maintain their pro status and just film goof off tricks for their after pro career,
sure.
They still skated, they still made parts, but they were just goofing off.
Uh-huh.
Like it surprised me when Shiloh did that no comply flip in First Love.
Right.
I was like, I didn't know he could do that.
He can do whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that part was insane.
And the the Shiloh trick where you ollie on to nose like foot plant and do the front foot impossible over the bench.
Yeah,
We call that the Shiloh around here.
I'd never seen it before he did it.
Yeah. So, I mean,
He has a mini ramp in his backyard, and Stacy goes over there and skates, and they've got their little backyard mini ramp crew. So I think it's kind of cool when it's undocumented, honestly, just knowing that those dudes are probably going to skate forever and they don't need to film it. It's more like going back to when you're a little kid and just skating with your friends in the backyard.
right. I guess it's just for my own selfish nature.
Yeah.
Well, it is
I
nice to
appreciate
know
that.
that
I do want to watch it, but I think it's cool that maybe you reach a point where everything has been documented that you've done. You get to a point where you feel like you don't have to document it. That's kind of freeing.
Yeah. It's called soul skating. I've heard of it. I've never done it myself. I won't even go out skating without a camera.
Yeah, it's annoying, and he won't carry the camera either. And we're like, dude, we don't
Just
even want
gotta
to
be
film.
there.
It just has to be there.
Yeah. It's true. We've actually made the camera. We've kind of put a little doll head on it with arms and legs to actually personify it.
It's just like part of the crew, right?
So it's just part of the crew. It hangs out. Usually fucking shotguns a few beers on the sesh.
Oh, yeah.
And which isn't good for the circuits. And we usually need to bring it to Carrie at Video Electronics to get fixed every other week. But You know what? He's a welcome addition. And I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Gotta have a name, right? Are we gonna have
Yeah.
to make up a name right now?
Yeah, he's got a name. Chip.
Yeah, it's Chip.
His name's Chip.
It's fitting.
Yeah. So next time you question whether or not he has a name, maybe you can just think about Chip.
I will. I
Yeah.
won't ever have to wonder again.
Yeah. But you know what? I want to know what the future of Rogers Skateboards is quite frankly. No, I'm just kidding. People ask me that about Fancy Light all the time, and I tell them to fuck off.
We'll ask each other that. Yeah, well, I mean, what's the future of any skate brand? Like, what's the
Right.
point of doing it? You want
Right.
to document
ex-
good times with your friends?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep doing exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is the pretty much the future of the company. You skate with your friends.
1,
You document it.
2,
You publish it,
3,
and then you put some shit on a board and try to sell it.
Yeah.
4. And then somewhere in there, obviously, crush some brews, you know?
It
Grow
is
some
the
doggies.
what are the hopes there? I'm putting words in your mouth. Are the hopes that by doing that you inspire some kids to go out and skate with their friends, perhaps document it, perhaps
Absolutely, but also I just want to inspire, if nothing else, creativity and not try to just, go into the mold of the industry. See, we've been here to put a sort of, hypothetical, screwdriver in the spokes of the BMX bike that is the skateboard industry. There's no creative skateboarding in the industry. You got to think about the videos. It's like everything is so like standard bare bones basic tricks on repeat trick selection wise. There's like hardly any, and you don't have to comment on this at all. There's hardly any sort of deviation from like the standard.
there's a lot of consistent content. I would agree, but I mean, there's the breakout dudes. There are people. They don't come along all the time, but a Mark Suchu, I would say that he possesses a level of creativity that's just beyond the skill sets of most skaters. Like,
See,
maybe you could think about it. Might not be able to put it together though.
I guess he's creative in his trick selection, but he's not. See, he's still a very handsome skater who's never going to look silly or foolish on film. You're never going to catch him looking silly or foolish. He's always going to be like pristine.
Hey,
Is the thing.
a technician. I think it's
exactly.
beautiful to watch though.
Yeah. I mean, as far as creative skateboarders, I'm talking more so Richie Jackson, Gu Miyagi, and those are the only two besides Fancy Lad. And
Osaka Daggers.
yeah, Osaka Daggers. Haven't seen anything from them in a while though.
They're still kicking.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys on the heroin team. Do you think they're not creative?
I think Dead Dave is, and he's a new guy. And I think Goo was. I think a lot of it. Well, Craig questions.
Definitely when heroin came about, it was definitely like, this is different than everything else, for sure. Like,
Mhm.
this is definitely more in line with like our thoughts on skating, but not fully.
And when did Foz start heroin? Late 90s? How long's that been around?
Yeah, but he didn't get actually popular probably till Live from Antarctica, which was like probably 2004, 2005.
Right. Yeah, I remember like that's when. Yeah, maybe even 3. I don't know.
Yeah, when
definitely,
Fist
like,
got on.
Yeah, definitely around, like, I remember in high school, that's when, like, heroin started popping up, like, over here. Like, it was in shops and shit, and people knew about it.
My point being is that I think that there is obviously a complete divide and a lack of creative skateboarding. And I think that's why Matt Tomasello, despite getting millions of views and being mentioned by Joe Rogan, will not get paid by skateboarding because he doesn't fit into the mold, you see?
What would he have to do to fit into the mold?
I don't know. Be a handsome looking model and skate for a shoe company where they could just pretend like he's, just doing basic stuff, but skating with steez, Gino pushing. I don't know.
What about Day One Song? Would he be an example of a creative skateboarder, in your opinion?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Chris
And-
Haslam, obviously.
Yep. And that's why we've reached out to Adidas and they've told us to go fuck ourselves. And I don't know. I guess he doesn't have enough clout yet or something like that. He might be in like the sort of love child phase of Day One where he needs to do it for another 10 plus years. But we're trying to figure it out. And I can't figure it out.
What if you already figured it out?
But wait, what?
What if you've already figured it out? What if you're doing it?
Then Matt would be getting a fat check if I had figured it out. I'm his active manager.
Gotcha. What if it's not all about the money?
It's not all about the money, but also, why wouldn't you want Matt to thrive and be able to do what he does full time with his talents? Red Bull, huh? Why would you not want that? Converse brand cons. I'm just asking, hypothetically.
Yeah, it's not about making a fat
Bones,
check.
wheels. I don't know. I'm just saying,
Yeah, or Spitfire. Who knows?
Who knows?
But just to say that, it's like, I don't know, maybe even DC, but who knows?
So I'm asking you, why doesn't Matt make any money off skateboarding?
I don't know the answer to that. I thought you guys were paying him pretty well over there.
Dude, I give the standard royalty fee of any other company. All right? No one makes money off the board companies. That sweet coinage is in the shoe and energy drink sponsors.
I don't have any of those.
Oh. Well, I've heard. You sign a contract and then the checks keep rolling in.
Gotcha.
On a monthly basis, even.
Well, tell Matt if he is looking for a sticker sponsor. Roger.
He is actually. So
Okay.
I'm going to speak for him right now as his active manager. Yes, and he will accept the sponsorship.
Okay.
Hell yeah, Matt.
We're not any closer to getting him any money though, but we're adding those to the list.
So you're going to send him a package of stickers?
Yes.
All right, I'll text you his address.
Maybe he'll have a pro sticker and he can get royalties though.
Ooh.
Good point.
Pro sticker. Great
Pro
idea.
stickers.
Oh, man.
I'm past the subject, but I'm just wondering what the does he have to move to California? Is that it?
I mean, I wonder that we've got Roger is pretty much. I mean, it is Austin based. We do everything through No Comply Skate Shop. Almost all the guys live here.
Mm-hmm.
But we run into the same thing where a lot of the guys have sponsors, but beyond just getting boxes of product, they're
that's
not making much money. They're not really going on trips, but it's we're kind of isolated here, maybe in the same way that you guys are in Boston. So
absolutely,
I do think there is something to the most of the brands are on the West Coast, and it's that FaceTime. I noticed just in my line of, let's say like in illustration, if I'm around people who could potentially hook me up with jobs, I'm more likely to get work if I'm actually in front of them and talking to them versus
over the phone or
a couple 1,000 miles away just emailing people. So
yeah,
I think there's something to being on the ground there, whether that's just being willing to take trips out there and be around the photographers and videographers and getting in the mix, but depends on what you're hoping to get out of it. If you just want to have a good time skating with your friends and make some videos, then maybe you don't need to.
All right, we're coming out there. We're going to hit up Rhino and Burnett, and we're going to say, drop what you're doing. Fancy Lads in town.
Okay.
Dude, Rhino's going to be pissed.
Dude, Rhino's going to be so fucking pissed.
He's going to be so mad.
Well, so something that I like about the current, state of media, I guess you could say, social media, is that you can have these cool little pockets of culture like what you guys have in Boston. and everyone can find out about it and can see footage and can, participate in that versus, I think it's really cool that there are these little pockets popping up that a kid, no matter what you're into, you can kind of find your people and have access to checking out cool content that speaks to you. So
It's
not
true.
every kid wants to watch stock footage of dudes skating handrails, and they don't have to. They can tune into Fancy Lad and watch Matt and see creative dudes.
It's revolutionized the sort of DIY punk ethos of skateboarding. Mixing business with punk.
Yeah. You get bunk, right?
Bunk. Yeah. All right. That was great. But no, it really does. But the double-edged sword of that, I think, is that because of it, everything obviously oversaturated, overflooded with content, hard to actually get any sort of monetary gain from it because of that. Because all content is so readily available and there's so much of it that who's going to pay for an album when I could just download it off Napster for free?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Is it a question or a statement?
I don't know. Here's a statement. Sieben is 7 in German.
Yes.
Now here comes the question. Now, when you listen to Eric Ellington's part in Is This Skateboarding, do you ever think to yourself, this song's really speaking to me?
I might have to rewatch it. I have not thought of that yet, but
It's Danzig's song
Mhm.
where he says, 7, 7, 7 is my name.
but it's not, right? It's
What?
mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
It's
like, hey,
speaking to you.
He stole my song. I should be singing this.
What does Danzig mean, though?
Ah, damn, I don't know.
Pretty sure it's 69.
It means, well, his name's Dan, and he actually just zigs everywhere that he
So-
goes.
Zig.
Yeah, he zigs.
So, Sieben, I noticed that you did some work for Nicktoons on your website.
Yes.
That's awesome. That
It was
must have been, yeah. I was looking at the graphics that you did, and what was it like doing something for Nicktoons? Because a lot of your stuff is kind of like somewhat like creepier looking, but then that's like all for it's for kids, and it had like that same vein, but it definitely had like a more childish feeling to it,
Yeah, it was a little more toned down, I would say. It was cool, and I think their audience, when those blocks were premiering, were for, I think it would have been like boys. I can't remember like what the programming blocks were, but they definitely said it did not need to be like super like babyish, or they were like, they
Right,
can have
right.
an itch to it. Like, we want it to look cool, and if they're like, or hiring you based on your aesthetic, so we don't want to fully art direct what you're doing out of it. But it was cool, and yeah, I feel like what I do really leans heavily upon children's book illustration anyway. Like, that's what I grew up looking at and trying to emulate when I started drawing when I was younger. So it was cool to tap into that and do something where it was removing skateboarding completely from it and just doing something for kids that super fun. I grew up watching Nickelodeon too, so it was pretty awesome to be able to do something with them. And
that's what it was like. It's like, oh man, it must have been cool working for Nickelodeon, just doing anything for them because it's Nickelodeon.
for
It's
sure.
awesome.
What shows did you watch?
You can't do that on television.
Oh yeah.
That was the big one. I didn't have cable when I was a kid, so I'd go across the alley to my neighbor's house, watch Nickelodeon at his house. That's the one I remember the most, though.
It's a good move.
I don't remember that one.
That one's from before we were watching TV, but they used to play that on like Nickelodeon had like they'd play like all the old game shows and stuff.
Mm.
But yeah,
Like Double Dare?
it was more like what would you do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
With Mark Summers.
with Mark Summers.
Yeah, of course.
Also from Double Dare fame.
We're just a big Mark Summers fan over here.
Can't blame you.
Yeah.
How has the current viral pandemic affected you guys there? Are you guys still kind of shut down citywide? Are you wearing masks outside? Are you hanging out in small groups of people?
Yeah, we're wearing masks. They lifted the stay-at-home advisory, so people are allowed to go out and, I don't know, go over somebody's house. And they just started reopening I guess today, they have outdoor seating reopened in the restaurants.
Uh-huh.
But everyone's got to wear masks.
Right. Which is weird because how are you going to eat?
Just
shove it through the filter, yeah.
Yeah, it is strange. But
yeah, we're still, I mean, it's still pretty much the same. I feel like you see a few more people out than before. I've definitely been noticing a lot of people without masks, and I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Do we not need to wear masks anymore? But for the most part, it's still like everything's pretty much just closed, you know, which is fine because I don't want to go back to work.
yeah, I've been living out my dreams right now of actually running a skateboard company, and that's why it's felt somewhat successful.
Because you have the time to focus on it?
Exactly.
It's a blessing, right?
Yeah. Blessing in disguise, they call it.
What have you been working on? Video stuff or graphics or everything?
A little bit of both, but the video, been focusing on that. It's coming out July of 2020. I'm confident in saying. So if you got a friend trick you want to send over, I don't know if I can squeeze it in there. I got a lot of footage, but I can try.
I don't have a filmer. I just skate by myself right now.
You can set up a tripod, okay? Times are different now. Anything goes.
Okay.
You know? But I've been working on some graphics too. Trying to, I don't know. Actually, me and Tony have been working on some stuff, you know. Just trying to beef up the catalog. You know? Just trying to beef it up.
Yeah.
Instead of having 2 boards for sale, maybe have 4.
Ooh.
Or
double it.
5.
Oh, wow. I don't even know the math for that one.
Yeah.
Does everything go, where do you sell stuff? Do you have any distribution or is it out of the garage? Coming back to Mike V style?
It's all, well, I usually just distribute it all through Chapman.
Uh-huh.
So I get the orders and just have them distribute it from there. And besides that, you know, it's just like you get a few kind of larger accounts that place a bigger order, you know. You got your tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know. I'm trying to get into the foreign markets though. So if you want to pass along your contacts, feel free.
I don't even know if we have any distribution outside of the US right now.
Oh, really?
Good to know that. I don't think we do though.
So I guess you're no help.
No help at all. No. No money, no help.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
You know, Tom, do you have any other last questions for Sieben?
I don't have any more questions, but yeah, I do appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here on the Fancy Lab podcast, #1 skateboarding podcast in the world. And now that you know what that podcast exists, you can tell everyone about it.
And also, as we tell all of our guests, feel free to subscribe to the Patreon yourself.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome to do that.
Yep. It's a free country.
Yeah. We're not going to stop you.
I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it still free?
Yep.
Well, working on it.
I haven't checked the news yet today. I didn't know where we were at.
Well, the Patreon costs like a few dollars a month, so technically it's not free.
No, I mean, are we still a free country? I haven't checked the news yet.
Yeah, I thought that was based on our Patreon, whether we were a free country or not.
Oh, that's the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out because honestly, this episode is not going to come out for a few days, so who knows where we're going to be at that point.
Sure.
I'm guessing alien invasion next. That's what I got. Fingers crossed.
That'd be awesome if they were like, all right, we got to go help these dudes out. They clearly do not know what the fuck they're doing.
That'll be good for Alien Workshop, right?
Yeah, Chris Carter. creator of the X-Files. Conspiracy. Think about it. Expand your mind, man.
Thinking right now.
Wait, don't think too much. You might get confused.
Yeah, you don't want to blow a gasket.
Yeah, just I guess just to sum it up, Sieben, keep up the good work, I guess. Your writing, your artwork. Like I said, probably my favorite skate artist. No offense, Foss. And hopefully you come out with another Roger video one day.
We will. We put out a lot of content in the last year, though. So
Yeah.
we're going to keep doing it, though.
All right, sounds good. And just keep me posted. Any job openings at Thrasher, and I'll do the same for you at Fancy Lad here.
Perfect.
You got it.
That sounds like a good deal.
That'll
Honestly,
work out.
Yeah, you should take the deal.
All right. Well,
Thanks for the invite. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, anytime. You're welcome back anytime.
Awesome.
and if you ever reboot the Internet Shack, Tom and I would love to be on it.
Okay.
Let us know. We're here.
I got to ring up my buddy Mike Aho, who he was the videographer and he edited all those things. So he's kind of the linchpin there. He's crucial. I need him on board. Can't do it by myself.
I noticed he had directing credit.
Yeah, he did. I mean, we wrote those things together, and I had to be in front of the camera, but he pretty much played all the extras, and he did the heavy lifting on that.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I'll send you his email address. You can harass him.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, maybe we'll start our own project called the
Fancy Lad Shack?
The VHS Shack. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I meant to ask this. Is Fancy Lad a reference to the Cabin Boy movie?
Absolutely, 100%. You
Okay.
got it. You nailed it right on the head.
Had to make sure, though.
Yeah.
Chris Elliott, big fan. Big fan.
Yep. Big fan of Chris Elliott. It's also the best film Tim Burton never produced.
I love it. I've got it. Watch it at least once a year.
Nice. All right. And so for all those listeners out there who hasn't seen Cabin Boy,
go check it out.
Go check it out. Go check out Roger Skateboards. Go check out Michael Sieben's editorials in Thrasher Magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Does a lot of lists on there. He loves his lists.
What's not to love?
Loves a good list. And, yeah. I guess that's it. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. I think we covered my entire life. I think we're good.
Yeah. We'll talk more about, like, Neil Blender and Christian Soy.
Part 2, right?
Part 2.
Post-vaccine, part 2.
Next time.
When we can go outside and I can film my guest tricks for the video.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Well, you have, like, a few weeks.
Okay.
So hopefully this whole thing blows over before then.
Does it need to be horizontal? How do I set up my iPhone?
You're going to want it horizontal unless you want to look like a fool.
Nah, I don't want to. I have no problem doing that on my own, but if I'm not going to intentionally do it.
Yeah. So don't do it vertically. Do it horizontal.
So it's like a real video. It's not just an Instagram video.
Yeah, it's a real video. It's going to be on thrashermagazine.com.
I love that website.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Thought you would.
Quality stuff. And I was thinking about this. It's going to be a long video. Do you think I should ask them if I should break it into 2 parts, or you think I should just slap the whole thing? Because everybody's biggest complaint is videos are kind of long.
I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't get Scorsese to chop a movie in half, right? Just because it's too long.
That's true.
But
If
then
it's
again,
a-
2001, Space Odyssey had an intermission.
Yeah, maybe worth asking, but I'm kind of a fan of if it's a complete work of art, I feel like it needs to be viewed in its entirety. I'm from the old school though, where we would watch complete videos. So
even though I'm younger than you, I am a student of the old school, and I came into skating right at the fringe of the old school. So I too have that same mentality.
Yeah, me
I
too.
say run the whole thing, but I get it. It's funny too because I feel like the complaints about videos being too long come from the audience which has the most free time, which is kind of interesting to me.
Exactly.
You're like, you don't have 40 minutes? What are you doing?
Well, they could watch.
Put your phone down for a little bit. Watch a video.
They could watch 8 5-minute videos in a row.
Yeah.
But they can't watch one. You know. So.
That's
C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Foundation. That's life. All right. Well,
Thanks, guys.
thanks again. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you're busy, man. You get back to work. All
I'm
right.
going to get back to work right now.
Back to the
Yes.
grind. All right. Thank you.
All right. And I
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it. I'll talk to you again someday. How about?
Send me Matt's address and yours too. I'll send 2 packages out. 2 sticker
Well,
packages.
all right. We live right next to each other, but I'm going to send you both of our addresses just so you have to pay 2 of the postage.
I got stamps. I'm ready.
All right. Great.
Bye, guys.
All right. Thanks, Sieben. Later. Oh, that was just great to talk to Sieben.
Oh, that was fantastic. What a nice guy.
You know what? He's one of the few people who's ever given me the time of day.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that.
You know, and yeah, especially since taking time out of his work day.
Mhm.
Let's come here and be on skateboarding's #1 podcast.
Right.
Fancy Lab Podcast.
Absolutely.
He didn't have to do that.
No.
Obviously, it's going to be beneficial for him because it is, as I said, world's #1. Actually, it is world's #1 podcast now. I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah, he's probably going to get a lot more followers.
Mhm.
And, yeah, probably a lot of fame
I don't see why I would.
and notoriety.
Oh, definitely notoriety.
Yeah, I if I didn't ride Fancy Lad skateboards,
Mhm.
I would buy a Roger.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I would actively go out and purchase one. Luckily, I'll never have to do that.
Because
Not in a million years.
you ride for Fancy Lad Skateboards.
And they're going to be around till the end of time.
Oh, there you go. Which is a million years from now.
Exactly.
We know for sure. We've seen the paperwork.
Well, we came from the future
Mhm.
to start the company.
So this should give us just enough time.
And that might be a little sort of hint to why we're so far ahead of everybody.
Right. Oh, yeah, the future thing?
Yeah, the whole thing of us being from the future.
I thought we just weren't going to tell anyone about that.
Shit. It must have been this fucking guava double IPA from Clown Shoes brand beer that really did me in.
Really loosening up those lips.
Yeah. Gotta get these lips tighter.
You know what they say about loose lips?
They like that. Wait, that you say or they say?
They.
Okay, because you always say you like your lips tight.
Right. That's true. Because, well, loose lips sink ships.
Oh.
Spaceships.
That makes sense.
And time and space ships.
I always see spaceships sinking.
Oh, yeah. Poor thing.
I know. Sinking into those black holes.
Oh, man.
Those tight black holes.
Ah, jeez. That's another thing you got to keep tight.
I know.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Actually, now that we've mentioned it, we should probably go work on our ship, a.k.a. the van.
Right.
Just get things moving nice and smooth.
Which people don't know doubles as the DeLorean.
Yeah. I mean,
Shit,
also,
should
another thing.
I not have said that?
Yeah,
either?
also, another thing I was going to say, I thought we weren't going to tell people that.
Well, you know what? Maybe before the podcast, you can make a list of things that I can't tell people.
I did put a list on right there. It's on your lap.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah. I told you right before we started. I
Okay,
said,
well,
"This is
maybe
the list."
on the list you can put that you want me to look down at the list.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's my bad.
All right, thank you.
Good
And-
feedback. I take that feedback. I will learn from my mistakes.
You need to make a second list that's right in front of my eyes to
Mhm.
remind me that so I can look down.
Oh, yeah. Got to have a second list.
All right.
All right, cool. Well, all right, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, see you then.
Yeah.